Greetings, I'm Captain Rage, and I'm back with more of Let's Play Rimworld. We're still with the Victims of Circumstance in the town of Dingy, and if you wish to join the Victims of Circumstance, or my future series, which I'll be getting to in just a moment, leave your name down below and I'll add you to the name list. Oh, we are in quite the pickle here, in more than one way, actually. Because right at the end of the last episode, we had the volcanic winter happen. And this could last for quite a while, so we need to get going. Because we're alright for now, but yeah, our crops are not going to be able to grow outside because it's going to get way too cold. As a matter of fact, well, we're going to winter anyway. We'll let Groove talk to Sally and see if Sally gets recruited. If she does, then I'll bring her into the colony. If not, then we'll have to talk about Sally in just a moment. Recruit failed 4.6%. Okay, we're just going to pause here for a moment. Alright, on top of volcanic winter going on, we also are looking at, well, the Alpha 17. This is a new recording session, as you may realize from how chipper my voice sounds right now. But Alpha 17 released yesterday, which means that, yeah, we need to start looking at our end game. And where is everyone? Everyone's collecting wood from chopping. At least it looks like it. Okay, Sally, we're going to take another look at you. Because we really just need specialized labor, and yes, having another doctor would be nice. But I don't think it's really required at this point. It would be a here. I mean, she would be... yeah, she would be our worst doctor of 5. And that's really her only redeeming quality. She has a little bit of passion for shooting, but not particularly great at it. Good at research, but Kyle, kind of has to research, and he's better at it. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to release Sally again. And also, I need to go into medical and reset everyone off of Glitter World meds. I mean, we have 8 of them, but I want to save those for surgeries because, surgery is my one thing that I'm give myself a mulligan on and try to redo. But anyway, I think the plan for Alpha 17. Okay, Groove is releasing Sally, and looks like Sally is getting taken to the gate this time. And after this, I'm going to redo the pathing here because failed in training rescue and poisoned the bear in the process. That's disappointing, but oh well. Okay, let's watch Sally. Yeah, I do have a couple of new names on the name list as well. Okay, and Sally is buggering off this time. Last time she tried to chisel through here, which this also needs to be redone because I'm a dumbass. Speaking of dumbass, something I noticed on my... let's see, this is granite tiles. Something I noticed here while editing this, and this is the problem with just sitting here and chattering away, is that you lose track of some small things, like our fire break was incomplete because of that. Well, it was because when we widened this to accommodate more, well, actually accommodate less guns, but give proper splits in between the guns because, yeah, guns can explode, but they don't always. We broke our fire break, so we're setting that up to get fixed, and Mel's is all over it. Did Sally, yeah, looks like Sally's off the, no, Sally's not quite off the map, but close enough. Okay, what, oh, Katie is idle. But I think Katie's mostly cooking these days. Cooking. She can't do dumb labor. She's a miner above that. A grower. Oh, she'll be busy later on then. Just making sure of everything. Okay, so since that got fixed, we are going to fix the pathing in the here. Just erase all of that. And we'll leave that there. Matter of fact, I should probably expand these just in case. Alrighty. I mean, that's not that big a deal, but it's one of those things that I'm not sure if someone moving through a slower area makes them an easier target or not. Because my theory on it is that if you're moving through moving faster, you're still increasing your distance if someone's sitting back here and shooting at you. At least, well, that's the idea. Alright, so volcanic winter. Well, let's go ahead and start setting up down here. This plan doesn't work. I haven't tested it, but it's not going to work for one simple reason. I fucked up. These sun lamps that I'm planning on using are 7x7s, not 6x6s. I usually use 6x6 in my growing, not a 7x7, which granted that's going to be changing in the upcoming alpha. Because growing needs to be done a lot more. It's a lot slower. So we are going to redo all of this now. So, and I was on the right thing. We'll start here. 7x7. Then another 7x7. And the beauty of this is that because of how these sun lamps operate and have these blocks here, I can put the supports there and have a giant structure here. It works out perfectly. So there is our massive 14x14. And we'll still go with the high yield. I'm not sure what the fourth one will be, but And then we'll have the outer wall extend. Oh. Out like that. Actually, that needs to be one out further, doesn't it? Because I don't want this to share a wall. So the double layered outer wall will be this. That means I need to create a little bit of a pathway here so they don't. Well, I have one here if someone spawns over here somewhere. But I want to play it safe. So we'll just mine out there and I'll get Katie working again. Okay, we have chunks of working. We have Henrelic working on that. We have composite vests being made. I actually need to sit down and figure out this. Yeah, composite vests. And Blaze is... Actually, I don't want you crafting that. What I need to do is go in and change all the ones that are my permanents to a proper skill level. And let's make it 5 on all of them. Okay, the mortar shields don't matter. Incendiary shields don't matter. Kevlar helmets do matter. Gotta protect the brains of our troops, right? Composite vests definitely matter. Mortar shells don't. So, okay, and he's gonna go cut blocks. That's actually exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, that doesn't matter. I don't have any outstanding bills on this, but what I'm gonna do is make it so that I always keep 1. It looks like I have 2 in the inventory right now. She made a shoddy one. See, drug lab doesn't matter. This, don't think it matters, but it requires a minimum crafting skill anyway. And I'm gonna have to toy with that. This, I don't think it matters either. And the sculptor's bench. Alright, so Blaze is off to make stone blocks. People are still hauling marble. And all is right in the world. Bunch of minor break risks. Just tired. Being grumpy, sleepy pants. Actually, speaking of sleepy pants, something else I noticed while I was editing is, let's see, Katie and Groove. Oh, I wanted to make sure that I didn't have them on separate sleep cycles, and I don't. I only have Reef, who is a night owl. Matter of fact, let's do a quick check to make sure I'm not missing anyone. I'm looking for mostly night owls here. Oh, heavy weapons is done. Well, Groove is a nudist, and I probably should have him be nude, but right now we are looking at a winter, so. We have a lot of people, don't we? Alright. Yeah, it's just Reef. So what I think I might do is go in and with a couple of my doctors, see who doesn't really matter about when they're awake. Litho, I'll put on the night shift. Oh, shit. And that's what I get for misclicking. So let's see, let's go. There. There. And I'm still going to have enforced joy time. So copy there. I want Litho. I want to basically always have at least 1 or 2 doctors up, if I could afford it. Soupe may be a good secondary choice as well. So, Soupe is on the night shift. Major break risk on Hidden Relic. What's your beef relic? Oh, your husband died. Your friend died. Yeah. Relic. I'm administering a smoke leaf joint. May have to do that permanently. Well, at least for a while, I guess. Let's see, how much longer? A season. Yeah. I'm a little concerned. The reason why I have the temperature up is just to see, well, if anyone really needs winter clothing. Looks like Red Panda does mostly. Everyone else is pretty well protected against the cold. And Red Panda could just swap out jackets and should be fine. Colonist title, that's Kyle. Let's see what we have to research. I'm going to get passive cooler. Now you may be wondering, why am I getting passive cooler? Well, we may have to go hunting for some meat. And if that happens, first thing that's going to happen is once our meat supply goes down a bit, I think I'm going to do another calling in the pigs. But if our meat supply gets desperate, I could always send out a hunting trip. Let's see. And Mills is making a call shotgun. That's lovely. And people are just going around doing their thing. There's just something about watching the everything in Rimworld, you know? We could designate toggle power there. And I do need to keep an eye on these batteries. Mostly because one of the things about the volcanic winter is that it limits the effectiveness of the solar panels. Granted, not as much as you would expect. It knocks them down to about 80% of max efficiency. And we aren't running the backup generators either, and we are still just right at the cusp of breaking even with one geothermal. And do we have a second geothermal around here? Speaking of geothermals, that's something else I should do is... I think I have an autosave going on. Yes, I do. I think that was an autosave. I'm going to build out a few there. And I'm going to do a second door here. And then build out a second layer of wall just to help protect that. And what I also need to do is probably what I really need to do is replace walls. And as Blaze gets the blocks, we're going to focus mostly on the dorms for now. I'm just looking around to see if anything else needs to be done. We are starting to see a little bit of movement on the food, so it's actually probably the first thing I should do is build out out here. And which includes there. Little piggy out hauling marble. Bloody Pig is out there. What's Bloody Pig doing out there? And I always click... I just always go for the wrong thing. That's why. Okay, so enter A. Sounds aren't protected. Could disable those. I did have it where they're falling on hunting. Yeah. And let's see, weapons be under a sun. Blaze was a pacifist, wasn't he? Yeah. I think so. Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty much the face of the colony, really good with animals, artistic, and craft bitch. Okay, something else that we should do is... Oh, that's random cloth. Okay, that's empty. Because I want to pack up all the camping supplies into one crate. Oh, the camels are eating the smoke leaf. That's not good. And I can't really forbid them from that, so I'm just going to have to hide the smoke leaf in here. Fucking camels. And we never really did a caravan with them anyway. But anyway, the eclipse, that's definitely going to put a damper on energy. Huh. Get a little bit of power, though. Wonder if that's, you know... like rolling over 0 and pulling a Gandhi. No, rolling over 0 and pulling a Gandhi would make it so that it's giving me 1000% power. Well, if you don't realize, well, don't know what that reference is, in the Civ series, in the first game, they had it where Gandhi was an extreme pacifist when it came to nukes. Well, they had an error in their programming where he would get so pacifist, and he would have essentially, I guess debuffs would be the best term for it, even though I wouldn't call it that. But, you know, it being encouraged not to use nukes. I would actually roll over 0 and go back up to 255, I think it was the max. Basically, just a rollover error, which made him super nuke happy. Thus, the nuke Gandhi was born. Okay, random cloth is... Or that one. I did empty both of these, didn't I? No. I may have to pack some of this. Let's see. Clear all. Raw resources. I must have been packing these individually. Anyway. Oh, the vendor, manufactured one, textiles. Want everything except raw cloth. Devil strand. And let's go with camel hair. And we'll just pack a bit to save some space. Oh, Cal's almost researched the passive coolers. Just as I mentioned it. Okay, so... Let's see, we are quickly running out of stuff, aren't we? You know, I think what I'm going to do is... Hang on, where's Crow? Caskets. There it is. So, yeah, for when Kyle finishes his lifetime of work, we'll just make him a meat popsicle. It's better that than just, you know, have him wander off, right? There should be a... There's an idea for a mod. Have it where you could banish someone from the colony for being useless. Anyway, let's see. We are... At that point, for we have a fair amount of blocks, but just none of a lot of quantity. And Spaceman has packed a fair amount of that. Oh, packed all of that. Let's see, the t-shirt could be canceled. Pants, parkas. Yeah, I'm just looking through here. I want to make a couple more tents. And I'm going to... I'm not sure if it requires a certain amount of skill, but what the hell. I'm going to make 2 more tents. Okay. Our kibble situation is starting to dwindle, but we just had an usement of hay. And our other field is about a third of the way grown. People are watching TV, but facing the wrong way. A very impressive rec room, though. A very impressive dining room. Okay. Yeah, battery levels are still looking good, so my power concerns probably weren't as warranted until we get the new greenhouse online. Or the mega greenhouse. Katie needs more work, though. As always. She uncovered some compacted steel there. Some there. I think we're going to have to just put her to work with the core drill. And that will cause power issues. Let's just let Katie do her thing until this eclipse is over so I could see what the hell... Oh, no. I was about to say see what the hell I'm doing and look for another steam geyser, but there she blows. That would be a good... That's a good spot for one as well. That's close to here. Mad animal. A wild boar. Restrict everyone in our pace. And toggle with the guns. Well, I don't think Soupy's gonna make it, so yeah. Million lights. Okay, drop the frag grenade, Bill. Whip and pick that up. Yeah, Supe wasn't gonna make it, so we're gonna have to try to save him. There we go. Ooh. Thankfully, that wasn't that big a deal. Oh, and you two could get unrestricted. Okay, so I think we do need to get the deep core drill up and running, which is a modded version of the essentially the base game's version of the core drill. Main difference is that it allows you to basically choose what you want and make it so that you have a essentially unlimited supply of it. You could put it anywhere. You don't have to mess about putting it around. The flip side of it is that it consumes power like a son of a bitch. I mean, it consumes, I think, as much power as, well, 3 sun lamps. So, you know, there's the flip side of things. That's why we're going to build out the second geothermal. Oh, and it is raining. We're going to forbid that. And once again, let's see. Flooring, granite tiles. Put a fire brick around this. And yes, I realize I don't have to use granite tiles for now. But in the future, that changes. So it's one of those things that get used to it. Okay, and there we go. It looks like it's joy time and people are going to sleep except for our night owls. The night shift. A breakdown of the heater. We also need to do a little bit of surgery for, I think it's a bookcase. Well, we've racked up quite the number of injuries as well. We've got Mel's, which, sorry to peek in on you, Mel's, has had her left pinky bitten off at some point. Bookcase has had her jaw shattered for ages. Katie has her right middle finger cut off. Red Panda's lost his left middle finger and his right ring finger. Groove still has that artery blockage from living in too much jambalaya. Just a couple of scars on Jared. Lithobreaker also has a shattered jaw, so we're going to have to get jaws. An old gunshot wound, a scar. The 6th rib is shattered on Haywood Floyd. A scar there. Another scar there, and a bad back on Blaze. Stab scar there. I guess Hidden Relic is no thumbs. Billion Lights is completely pristine. I won't stay for that long though. And speaking of not staying for long, it is time to wrap things up. So as always, I'll let time just slip on by a little bit. As always, constructive feedback is greatly appreciated, either in the comments below, or if you don't really have anything to say about one, let me know that you've enjoyed or hated this. Hit the appropriate buttons and subscribe if you wish to see more of Rimworld or my other content. And yes, I do have other content. I realize that there's been a bit of a drought lately, and that's just because, well, Halo started to suck. Well, it sucked even more than usual for me, and I just wasn't enjoying myself, and yeah. Wasn't a good time. But anyway. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll be back for more of Rimworld as we kind of just try to ride out the volcanic winter and really just bide our time until all the mods are updated, because that's the main thing here. I'll see you next time.